Hello, welcome back to Go Natural English. The difference between a fluent English speaker and someone who is struggling to speak English is clear. The key is consistency. That means using English a little bit each day. In this English tip lesson, I'm going to share 17 ways that you can use English every day for free, and they don't take a long time. Now, you don't need to do all 17 of these every single day. You can pick and choose. Start with one that you find interesting, and then when you want more ideas to do something different, you can revisit this video. Make sure you watch all the way to the end because I'm going to tell you how you can learn English with me, becoming my student in my complete English fluency program. The link to pre-register for information and to get a notification when enrollment opens again is in the description. Now, let's begin with number 1. It is so important to not wait until your English class or your English tutoring session to use English. We need to find ways to immerse you in English each day. That means consuming content in English. One simple thing that you can do right now while you're watching YouTube videos is to turn the captions or subtitles on in English. Just click on the settings and turn the CC on. And that way you can read and watch this lesson at the same time. The more input, the better. Having subtitles on doesn't hurt your English. You're simply able to exercise your reading skills and your listening skills at the same time. You might try watching for the first time with the subtitles on and then the second time with the subtitles off and see how much you understand. Or if you want a challenge, you can reverse that and watch the first time with no subtitles, see how much you understand, and then watch the video again a second time with the captions on. Now, on that note of consuming English a little bit each day, I highly recommend that you listen to a daily podcast. Now, if you like to stay up to date on world events, the perfect podcast for you is The Daily from the New York Times. It's about 20 minutes long, which is perfect. It's not too long, not too overwhelming. And 20 minutes for me fits perfectly in my routine going to the gym or commuting to work, or if you walk a dog or need to do some chores at home. 20 minutes is a great length of time. So I recommend starting with The Daily. It might be a little bit advanced because it's meant for native English speakers. So if it is too difficult, don't give up. Just revisit it in a few weeks and see if it's easier to understand. A big mistake that a lot of English learners make is that you consume a lot of English materials, which is good, but you stop there. Just because you can understand what you're listening to or what you're reading doesn't make you fluent in English. Fluency means that you're able to communicate your ideas in English through writing or speaking. So make sure that when you are consuming materials, you're also writing and speaking. To practice speaking, you could shadow the podcast you're listening to or this video right now. For writing, you could write some notes on what you listened to. What did you learn? What was interesting? Or were there any new words that you'd like to look up afterwards? So make sure that you're not only reading or listening to English, that you're also speaking and writing. Another big mistake a lot of English learners have that's keeping them from fluency is lack of vocabulary. We need to build your vocabulary a little bit each day. So think about how you could add new words to your vocabulary. One way that I love doing this is looking at the word of the day on the Merriam-Webster dictionary website. So each day, it's simple. They give you a new word that's usually a little advanced, and you can write it down and try using it in your journal in your own sentence. Another mistake that English learners often make is trying to translate everything in your head when you're speaking. However, to improve your writing skills, you should translate. And actually, it can be a really good exercise for you to try translating from English to your native language and really observe. Make note of how the languages express the same ideas, sometimes very differently. If you would like a fun exercise to translate from English to your native language, try translating this video. There's a link in the description here on YouTube to translate this video. And once you do that, your name will appear in the description as well as a thank you. A lot of you might use social media. Maybe you use Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. On social media, don't just be an observer. Find accounts to follow or friends who speak English and take time to comment in English on their posts or join a conversation in a group. This is a really important way for you to develop your English skills because writing for me was a great way for me to work on my Spanish skills. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I would follow accounts on Facebook that spoke Spanish and I would comment on their posts in Spanish. And it was a great feeling to see that people could understand what I was trying to say. It's simple, it's easy, it's fast, and it's really good for shy learners. If you don't feel quite ready to speak with native speakers, try using English on social media a little each day. Okay, one mistake is to constantly focus on learning new things. It's great to learn new vocabulary, expressions, phrases, grammar, but it is actually even more important to review what you've already learned. It can take 20 times seeing the same word for you to understand and remember the meaning, the pronunciation, and how to use it in your own sentences actively. So remember to review and be patient with yourself because really almost no one, even native speakers, remember a word after the first time they see it. We need to repeat and review many, many times. The next tip might seem a little woo-woo or different, but I think it's really important to envision yourself as a fluent, confident English speaker. It's like meditation or visualization or affirmations. Take a minute each day, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in a situation where you're speaking English fluently. Maybe you're giving a presentation in English, or maybe you're at a dinner with friends or coworkers and you're having a great conversation in English. I want you to see yourself in that situation in your mind because this helps to prepare you, to make you feel familiar and therefore more confident when these situations occur in real life. So use the power of your mind to improve your English fluency. In order to create a new reality where you are a fluent, confident English speaker, we have to envision it first before it becomes reality. Next, don't wait for someone to start a conversation with you in English. No native English speaker is going to come knocking on your door to start a conversation with you. You need to be the instigator. Start a conversation with someone in English today. It could be someone in person if you're so lucky to live in a place with other native English speakers, or it could be on social media, online, and it doesn't have to be with native English speakers. It could be with any English speaker at all. Next, don't depend on other people to tell you when you're making mistakes. Each day, you can try speaking English. It could be free speaking if you're more advanced, where you just speak whatever's on your mind. Or it could be shadowing another material that you're listening to, simply copying what you hear. And record yourself. This is so helpful. If you record yourself, you can listen, you can play back your speaking and notice where you might be making mistakes or maybe where your pronunciation is a little off. And that is the first step to improving your English skills. Here's another tip for actually using English in real life. Think of a website, a product, a service that you use where it's an English-speaking company. And you can actually contact their support. Maybe you have a question about the product or the service. A lot of websites nowadays have chat for customer service. So you could actually practice your English while you're asking questions about a product or service you're interested in. And some businesses still have old-fashioned phone lines, so you could go ahead and practice your English for telephone calls by calling a company that's of interest to you. Next, you've probably heard this many times before, but listen to music every day in English. And don't just listen, sing, enjoy yourself. Put emotion into the song, because emotion, feelings, movements, dancing will help you to improve your English, because these are all ways that help our body and our minds to remember words. And in many songs, you can pick up new vocabulary. So choose a song that you enjoy, learn the lyrics, sing it, dance it, and enjoy using English. If you have no idea where to start, I will share that one of my current favorite artists is Sia. So I recommend that you start there. Next, I have a personal tip to share. Hope you don't mind, but if you live in a city where there's tourism, you could look at taking a tour where people would be speaking English with English-speaking tourists. I recently did this with an Airbnb experience where I did a historical walking tour in English as a participant. And this was a really fun way to use English in real life. Of course, I don't need to practice my English because I'm a native speaker, but I could imagine that doing something like this in English could really help you. And I've done other Airbnb experiences where the leader and the group were speaking Portuguese, and that really helped me to develop my language skills as well. Next, don't try to do everything. Don't try to become fluent in English right away. Just break down your goals into smaller steps and choose one small thing each day. In fact, give yourself a deadline. Make an appointment with yourself each day to practice English. So this is more of a strategic tip or a motivational tip to help you with your discipline. When I really want to improve my skills in an area or I really want to get something done, I actually make an appointment with myself using Google Calendar to do that thing, to use Portuguese, to practice Portuguese, to read a little bit. So this is more of a strategic tip, but you can use this to make sure that you don't forget or you don't say, oh, I don't have time today, maybe tomorrow. Create the time. And don't just depend on outside sources for English. I talked a lot about listening to podcasts, music, writing in your journal, looking up a word of a day, and many other things. But you can actually use English in your own mind throughout the day. Try creating sentences. Oh, right now I'm eating lunch and then I'm going to go to the gym, or whatever is happening in your day. You could describe people that you're seeing. Oh, that woman has a really beautiful dress. And so you're actually narrating your day in English. The next tip that's related is when you go to bed at night before you sleep, try recapping or summarizing your day in English. So, I woke up at 6 a.m., then I had breakfast, and so on. And this will really help your fluency. Do this each night before bed, and you might be surprised that pretty soon you'll start dreaming in English. Our second to last tip is that you at home can label different objects around your house. So this will help you to improve your vocabulary when you actually put a sticky note on an item at home and label it with the correct vocabulary. That way you're seeing English everywhere you go. Finally, last but not least, perhaps my favorite way to use English each day is to think about how you could use English to help someone or to make someone's day a little bit better. Could you give someone a compliment? Could you tell them that they look nice today, or that they have a nice dress on, or their hair looks nice? Maybe you like their earrings, just saying. Or could you offer to help someone? Maybe you see someone who's struggling, who needs help to do something, and you can offer to help in English. I still remember years ago when I was living in Japan and I was inside a subway station, completely lost. I had no idea I had no idea how to get where I was going. And a very nice Japanese woman stopped and offered to help me with directions. And it was so simple, but so nice. I really felt like people were there to help me. And so perhaps you could help another English speaker today, or make them feel good with a compliment. Woo! All right, that was 17 tips for using English on a daily basis to improve your fluency, confidence, and speaking skills. Now, I promised that I would tell you about how to be my student. So if you would like a guide, if you would like someone to help you each day, to correct your English, someone to show you what to study and what to do each day, then you should get more information. You should pre-register for my complete English fluency course. You can do that by clicking the link in the description at gonaturalenglish.com/registration. When you sign up for more information, I'll tell you everything about the Go Natural English method, how the course works, the price, and all the details. Make sure to sign up to get more information today, because I only open the course a few times a year and only for a few days of enrollment. So it's really important that you get the information you need in order to become my student. Thanks so much for joining me here on YouTube, and I hope to see you in the pre-registration. If you do sign up for pre-registration, I'll be sending you an email soon. And if you have any questions, you can just hit reply and directly ask me yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.